Video 4, servicing the cassette body. Okay, once you have the cassette body removed, you want to clean everything back here. So you need to take out the pawls and springs. And if you have a tool like this, kind of angled needle nose pliers, you can just go in and pull out the springs really easily, like that. You can do it by hand, but it's easier with the correct tool. And pull those out, and you can just drop out the pawls. If they're stuck in with grease, you'll need to pull them out. Okay, and then the next thing you want to do is inspect the main bearing. So if this bearing, put your finger in, rotate it around, press down on it. If it feels smooth and doesn't have play, then I would not recommend replacing it because it doesn't need to be replaced. If it feels gritty or rough, then you want to take it out. And there's this little circlip in there. It's kind of hard to see, but you can see the circlip in there. And it's kind of tricky to get this out, but there's a pretty easy trick to do it. So what you do is you'll need a small screwdriver and a pick. And there's a little tiny lip. I don't know if you can see it there, but there's a little tiny lip. And what you want to do is you want to place the screwdriver on the inner edge of the clip near that little lip, that notch section. And then you put in your pick and you pry it out and up onto the screwdriver. And you can see it gets cocked at an angle, and then you can just pull the whole circlip out like that. Then you want to remove this bearing, and you'll be using this tool and this and that and that. And you slide this on. That fits inside the bearing race. And then you put the cup on like that. And then you spin this down until it snugs up, and then you just tighten it and it'll press that bearing out. So you press it out like that until you can hear it come out like that, or feel it come out. And then you remove everything, of course. And then you take out the bearing. It might stick in there. Just push your finger through from the backside and it'll pop right out. Okay, so now if you're going to replace the bearing, you'll have a new one here. And it's a good idea to clean everything in here. You can just clean it with rubbing alcohol or something like that. Clean everything inside. Get it as clean as you can. And then you're going to want to put the bearing back in. And how you do that is... well, first, before you put the bearing in, after you clean it, you're going to want to put some Loctite green sleeve retaining compound. And the best way to do that is actually to dip it in a Q-tip and just put a really nice even surface around there. And then you'll take this piece, and that'll just fit right in the back end of the cassette body here. And you slide this all the way up there, and then you'll put the bearing, the new bearing, on here. You'll slide it into place, get it lined up, and then you'll take this piece here and spin it down and just press it in. And you just spin it in, it's going pretty smoothly. And then you just snug it up. You don't need to get it super tight. Just make sure it's all the way up against the stop of the bearing bore. And then take that out. Remove that. Pop out the bearing drift, the MR1728 bearing drift. And then you're going to need to reinstall the circlip here. And it's pretty easy. You just kind of get it started at a little bit of an angle, and you push it down, and then you'll run your finger down and you'll get it, and you'll just sort of run around it until you can hear it click in, and you want to make sure it's clicked in on both sides. And then you're also going to want to clean this area. A Q-tip is the best thing, so just stick it into each pawl pocket like that, spin it around, and then go around and clean all that and run it around like that to clean all that. And now we're going to reinstall the pawls, and I like to use this, the ATB lubricant. It's really high quality, very nice, but any light oil will do. And you just start by putting a small amount in the round surface of the pawl pocket there. And then you're going to want to put it in, and these are the springs here, and they're designed, they're oriented, so you have to figure out the right orientation. And you put it in, you want to put it in about halfway. So you put it in about halfway like that, and then you can take each pawl and you come over and you just slide it over like that, and you slide it over, and that helps you push down the spring, and then you push down until you get it in place. So I'll show you that one more time. So you install the spring, do it about halfway, and then you take your pawl like that, and you come over above the pawl pocket, and then you push it backwards, and then you push it down. And then once you're done with the pawl and spring installation, you want to check and make sure that they're moving freely and easily. So you get them all in, and then you just want to press down on each of the springs, make sure they're fully installed, and each pawl is fully installed, and then just go around and go like that, and they should be really smooth and activate freely. Of course, you want to clean the pawls and everything before you do that. Okay, that is proper cassette body service.